Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I want to talk about upcoming armies in 9th edition in terms of new models. Now we all know that the Necrons are about to receive their big bundle of joy. August looks like the month that they're probably going to get their new codex and all their range release, like the Silent King, the Satan of the Void Dragon and stuff like that. I'm personally going to say that in September it's going to be the Space Marines that are going to be following them. They're going to receive probably a new codex and of course all the new stuff that's been previewed, and hopefully more stuff because we do have another big reveal on July the 25th as well. But as I mentioned at the start, today I actually just want to focus on the other races, races like the Tyranids, the Eldar, factions like the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, the Space Wolves and stuff, and just theorize and just basically tell you what I would like to see when it comes to new models for them in 9th edition. So let's jump in and let's get talking. I think what I'd like first is another Xenos race getting some love. Of course, I'm a huge Imperium fanboy, everyone knows this already, but when you look at the Xenos races, they really haven't received as much love as the Imperial factions over the past couple of years. Now, we did have a little bit at the start of the Psychic Awakening when the Eldar got some love, some Incubines, some new Banshees and stuff like that, or Howling Banshees should I say, but really not a lot. Of course, the Necrons are getting their massive bundle of joy, as I just stated in the introduction. But really, I think other races, when it comes to the Xenos, need that love as well, just like what the Necrons got with theirs. I would like first the Eldar to get the love. If you actually look at the Eldar range at the moment, I think the Eldar range is probably one of the oldest ranges that we have now. Like some of their like Phoenix Lords and stuff like that are just, I think it's still in like metal and Finecast and everything like that. So for them to get like a brand new, like maybe a HQ update in their range, of course some of the troop choices and stuff like that are looking a bit old. I'm not saying that they look potentially very, very bad, but when you compare it to like the new sculpts that we've received lately with like the Necron ranges, just look at like the old Ceres model to the new Ceres model. Like the way that's sculpted, the way that looks on the battlefield is completely different and way more amazing. So if they can do that with like the actual Eldar range itself, then I think that would be an absolutely fantastic place to start. And also speaking to the community a lot of the Eldar people agree, you know, it's their race that needs it. And also people who are not Eldar fans, who are like Tal fans and Tyranid fans, have all come together, well, in my little circles anyway, and said, yeah, I don't mind if the Eldar get the love first, because they're the ones that actually deserve it. I think when you look at the Xenos ranges the most, I think we can all decide that the stuff that's Finecast, the stuff, you know, in some cases that is actually metal and stuff like that, those are the things that need the love as fast as possible. If we can get them out the way and get them pumped up to like I was going to say metal, actual plastic, and get like some new designs from that, I think it's really cool. I don't really want to turn this video into like a range review or anything, but looking like at the Tau stuff, I'm quite happy with how most of the Tau range looks. Again, I can probably apply that to Tyranids. I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be upgraded, and they definitely deserve new models. I think everyone deserves as much love as the Space Marines and the Necrons have got at the start of this edition. But I think the way that GW is going to be going forward with this, they're only going to be adding maybe 1 or 2 units per faction and maybe a HQ character. But saying that, I'm actually going to argue against myself now, is that when you look at a faction like Chaos, now Chaos has just received a so-called big update. You know, Abaddon came out, a bunch of new Chaos Space Marines and stuff. They've received the new codex, all the things that was in there with them. But I still think there's still a massive thing to do with Chaos itself. Now, we already have the Thousand Sun codex out there and Zinch and all the stuff that came out with that. Absolutely fantastic release. I loved everything that came with that, the models, everything. It's the same with the Death Guard. You know, Mortarion came back. You know, you got like a more or less a brand new range done with the Death Guard. I think this now needs to apply to the other 2 gods a part of that Chaos Space Marine faction. So Khorne definitely needs to be added, and alas, the World Eaters should get their own codex, and along with that, you know, we can say like new Berserker models. That is something that a lot of people have asked for now for many years. The way that people are doing it at the moment is that they're taking AOS bits and upgrading their 40k stuff with AOS stuff, where really, you know, GW should be making these models and, you know, giving us brand new Khorne stuff. Again, you can go along with that and say maybe like a new Angron model could come with that and stuff, Primarch Valrak and everything like that, but we can go down that road another day. Again, that can apply with Slaanesh and the Emperor's Children. Again, new Noise Marines could be awesome. Fulgrim Primarch model could be cool, but then you can have some HQ characters like Lucius the Eternal. Lucius the Eternal model, back in the day, it was the bee's knees, but if you look at Lucius the Eternal model now, he looks a little bit worse, where he definitely needs like a brand new model and some love actually given to him. And I apply that to the same non-aligned characters as well. Now, what I mean by non-aligned is that, of course, you know, they're not sworn to Khorne, you know, Nurgle or anything like that. Now, we are very, very lucky when it comes to it. Like, Chaos has just had this, as I just said, they've had a massive kind of range refresh when it comes to HQ characters. You got, you know, like a new Dark Apostle, Master of Executions. You got like what's it, that big Spider Knight guy? I think it's called an Archlord or something like that. You got like a new Chaos Sorcerer. Fabius Bile has just come out. But you look at the range, and then you look at stuff like Huron Blackheart. I'm a huge, massive fan of Huron Blackheart, and I really, really wish that he would get the love that he deserves. I actually prefer Huron Blackheart over Abaddon. I think he would technically make a better leader for Chaos than Abaddon, but again, that's just my opinion. You've got like the Night Lord, Chaos Lord, the Warp Smith, again, for you Iron Warrior players. I know I don't really talk about Iron Warriors that much. They're the bane of my existence, but when it comes to new models, you know, I really, really hope that this is what GW start to do now, and start giving the love to these models that haven't had that love over the past couple of years. Now, if we move on to my glorious Imperium, there's kind of a lot to talk about on the Imperium side of things. Now, we all know that Space Marines get the love. Yes, I'm completely, you know, I understand where people come from. Like, oh, bloody hell, you know, Necrons get something, but you can't have anything without the Space Marines getting involved. It's just where the way GW sells the stuff. Space Marines are the most popular faction, so you'll always find out that they'll always give the love because people want to buy Space Marines. That's just the way it is. But if we just, like, put the general Space Marine to aside for a second, and we start looking at some of the other Imperial races. Now, one of the biggest talking points is, of course, the Imperial Guard. I am a massive fan of the Imperial Guard. I love them to bits. But one of the things that has taken away from it a lot, I think, over the past couple of years is the way that the Imperial Guard are represented now. It's mostly just Cadia. That's all it is. Cadia this, Cadia that. We all know that Cadia fell. I'm not saying anything, you know, bad against Cadians. I love the Cadian models. But one of the things that really attracted me to the sorry, not the Cadian range. I'm getting tripped up. One of the things that attracted me to the Imperial Guard range was how different they were, like how much personality they had. You had like the Vostrian Firstborn, the Talon Desert Raiders, the Praetorian Guard, the Mordian Iron Guard, you know, the Armageddon Steel Legion. You had all these different flavors when you looked at the Imperial Guard, which made each one different. Each one was a different fighting force in the way they went about it and the look of it. And when you put that on the tabletop, it was just a brilliant thing because, you know, this guy could be playing Imperial Guard over there. He could have Vostrians. I'm playing Mordian Iron Guard. And even though we're playing like the same faction, we're completely different. And that was one of the things that I was really, really happy about with the Imperial Guard and how much they looked. And I feel like over the past couple of years, that's been taken away from it now. So if GW were to do something else with the Imperial Guard, I really, really hope that they give them that flavor back again. I'm not saying that they have to redo everything, like bring up that like every regiment back, but maybe they reintroduce either a new regiment or update an existing regiment with new sculpts. And if we move on talking about some of the Imperial factions, mainly Space Marines, yes, because of course Space Marines, I actually just want to focus on the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, and the Space Wolves and stuff like this now, because what I personally think that's going to happen with them during 9th edition is that they will be getting the upgrades when they eventually do get their codex released. I actually think we'll probably get their stuff before the end of the year. Personally, I think we'll have all the Space Marine stuff out before then. But when it comes to new stuff, the only thing I can really see is them getting new HQ characters. So if we start with the Blood Angels, we've just had Mephiston. He was, you know, like one of the big boys when it comes to the Blood Angels. He's just had the Primaris treatment. When it comes to other characters in the Blood Angels, the number one talking point is, of course, Dante. Will Dante get a new model? If it is a new model, will it be a Primaris model? The way that GW has been doing their business lately, I cannot see Dante not getting a Primaris model, not being upgraded. I know there's been talk in lore about Dante not doing it. He may be too old and stuff like that. But from a business standpoint, you're not going to kill off Dante. Dante is just too well to just sell off or, you know, just throw in the bin. He's just too popular with the fandom. And his model is looking very, very old at the moment in time. Again, back in the day, it was the bee's knees, but when you compare it to everything else we've got now, it just doesn't do it. So I think this would be a massive selling point for the Blood Angels if Dante would get that Primaris treatment, would get that new fantastic model, and I think it would be a really, really good thing for the Blood Angels. When it comes to like doing other stuff up with the Blood Angel models, again, I know there's been talk of, like, you know, the Intercessors getting more Blood Angel stuff on there, and maybe they'll just do more upgrade kits. I actually really do think that maybe Forge World could step in here and really take, like, the beacon of this and actually start doing proper upgrade kits for the Primaris Marines. And we've recently just seen that Forge World have put a lot of stuff like, you know, out to pasture at the moment in time. So maybe they're making you know, room in their warehouse to actually start producing more things dedicated not only to the Space Marines but to actually other races in 40k. I think they earn a big chunk of change if they actually start to do those like upgrade kits for the different chapters and different races. With the Space Wolves, it's more or less the same kind of thought process really. If you look at their HQ range, Logan Grimnar, he's really just got a kind of a new model, you know, like Father Christmas on a sled being pulled by the Space Wolf stuff. I would suspect someone like Nigel Stormcaller to maybe get that upgrade when it comes to it. Arjak Rockfist, I know that is one. You know, like the Rune Priest they've got and stuff on there like that. Ulrich the Slayer could be a really, really cool choice as well. You know, you actually have you know, different possibilities to go down when it actually comes to the Space Wolves. And again, just the same thought process. I think, you know, it's Forge World to step in and start doing like the wolf pelts and stuff like that to really start making the rule of cool for your general Primaris Marines. And lastly, let's finish with of course the Dark Angels. Azrael has to be asserted when it comes to it. Azrael needs that new model. Azrael's model is so old now. It really, really is old. It's so old it makes Dante's look new. That is how old it is. So I'm definitely going to say in 9th edition, Azrael has got to get a brand new model, and of course Asmodai as well. You know, make them repent, Asmodai. He definitely deserves a new model as well. Just before we finish the video, I've mentioned this a couple of times now. I actually do think one of the big things that is going to be releasing with every faction coming very, very soon is terrain. Terrain is supposed to be this huge, massive thing now in 9th edition. We've already seen like the battle bunkers for the Space Marines. We've seen some of the Necron like ruins. I don't really know what the rules are for that yet, but I fully expect every army to get something like that now. Some armies kind of have that already, like the Stargate thing for the Chaos Space Marines. Maybe they'll get something else new or anything like that, but you know, when it comes to the Eldar, they've got that little gate. I'm not too sure what the Tau have. I think the Tau have that like kind of battle fortification line, but that's all sold out, so maybe they'll get something new. The Imperial Guard, I don't think they really have anything, and maybe they deserve, like, you know, a huge massive turret or something, just like what the Space Marines got. But I definitely do think that we're going to see some massive new big terrain features coming per army that will benefit your armies on the battlefield as well. Alright, Chapu Neos, that's enough waffling for me for one day. Thank you for coming, thank you for watching, as always. If you've got any thoughts, feedback on this, what army do you play, what, and yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go down in the comment section. List what army you play and what kind of stuff, model-wise, you would like. I know when it comes to rules, it's a whole different ball game and everything like that. Just for now, what kind of new model would you like in your army, if it's an upgrade from a different like character or something, or, you know, maybe something brand new that you wish to see on the tabletop. Post it down below and we can have a nice little discussion down there and talk about it all. See you now, have a great day, and bye-bye.